Hello, I am Jyotika. Welcome to Excelling Psychology. In today's class, I will discuss a May June 2410 marker from paper 1, which had come on the Baron Cohen study. This is going to be a quick video, unlike my other videos. So, I will directly get into writing the answer. As I'm writing, I will explain to you what my thought process is. So, let's begin. First, I will lay out a strength of the study in paragraph format. So, how I will write is following the standard Peel format, which I have explained in many other of my videos. You can check them out. One strength of this study was the use of a highly standardized test, the ICE test. One thing I have pointed out using the Peel format, I've made the point that this is the feature of the study, which is a strength. Also, I have restricted myself to the ICE test. If we want, instead of that, we can take a breadth approach and mention the AQ test or the gender recognition test as well. I give preference to depth always over breadth, so I'm just taking one example, a very, very specific feature. Now, next, I need to explain how. I've named the feature, which is a strength, but how was it implemented? That's what I'm going to explain next. So, the ICE test consists of 36 pairs of eyes in photographs that have to be viewed by each respondent, and a choice has to be made out of exactly 4 alternatives of which emotion is portrayed in the pair of eyes given. Okay, so I have given the features of the ICE test which standardize it, which make it very fixed basically. This same test had to be answered by all 4 groups of participants in the study: the AS-HFA group as well as the 3 control groups. Here you can see I'm being as specific as possible. I'm not giving any generic points. I'm not just saying it's standardized or all the participants had to answer. I'm going on contextualizing every point made to the study that we have seen. But at the same time, I'm not getting into unnecessary details. This point is not about sampling, it's about standardization. So I'm not describing exactly who was there in which group, how many participants were there, what was their age. That doesn't bear relevance here. The point I'm trying to make it is on standardization, so I'm restricting myself to that. So here I've explained how it was standardized. Now to explain why I'm saying that this is a strength. So this is a strength because performance on the ICE test and ultimately the theory of mind of all 4 groups was consistently measured. So here I've explained that why I'm saying it's a strength that all groups had to answer exactly the same test. And then to link in the Peel format or to conclude this point, I would link it to the strength of reliability and replicability. So this increases the reliability of the findings of the study, that the AS-HFA group performed worse on the ICE test. It also makes the study more replicable for any researcher who wants to conduct a similar study in future. I would like to point out here, what I always do in all of my videos, that my answers can be a little lengthy because I'm taking an explanation approach. As I'm writing, though I'm being quick in this video, still I'm explaining to you what is my thought process and how I'm making the points. So because I'm trying to be very explicit about things, that is why it will seem lengthy. Each point made, your points may be briefer because one, you are not going to explain like I am doing, you're doing it from more of an answer writing perspective. And secondly, because of course you're not going to memorize exactly what I am writing, so when you write in your own words, definitely the length will reduce. Please do not keep your focus on the length of the points or what is the word count. That is not important right now. What is important is you follow the thought process of writing the answer, understand how the 10 marker is to be phrased, what content is to be covered, how it is structured. Pay more attention to what is important in this answer. Okay, now I will follow with another strength. So, okay, here I'll write another strength of the study was the piloting of the ICE test while finalizing the items for its revised version. So my point here, the feature of the study which I'm saying is a strength, is the pilot study which was conducted to finalize the revised ICE test when they were revising the original ICE test which was there. Now to explain how they piloted it, so 8 judges, 4 males and 4 females, were asked to review the 40 items prepared for the test by Baron Cohen and Wheelwright. A criterion was set such that a minimum of 5 judges had to agree to a target response choice for being the correct response to a given item. Also, not more than 2 judges had to pick a foil. Similarly, the data for groups 2 and 3 was combined such that 50% of participants had to select a target response choice as the correct response, and not more than 25% had to select a foil. Items which did not meet these criteria were eliminated, were initially revised, and if deemed totally unfit, were eliminated, reducing the total number of items to 36. Again, I would like to reiterate that I am writing a lengthy answer intentionally just to explain to you what sorts of points can be covered. When you are writing the same point, you can give the criteria for either one set of judges also, the expert judges or the combination of group 2 and 3, which is the common participants. You don't have to give both of them. So for example, this part you could have reduced from the how or the explanation of how this was implemented in the study, or you could have removed the previous part, Also, you don't have to know every fact which I'm writing here. Supposing you don't know that Baron Cohen and Wheelwright have prepared the items, that's fine. As long as you can put across your point effectively that the test was piloted in some way. Okay, now to explain why this is a strength. So, why this whole process is a strength? Because it establishes the ICE test as a valid test. So, this is a strength because it establishes the ICE test to be a valid measure of emotions depicted in photographs. I would say a measure of recognition of emotions depicted in photographs. This increases. Now, to link it to what strength is there, this increases the validity of the findings of the study. I've mentioned the findings previously in the last paragraph, so I'm not repeating that. Okay, so these are two strengths. What you need to notice is for each of these strengths, they're very explicit to the study. They are not at all general points. That is why they will meet the highest mark band in the paper and they will score 9 or 10. Because we are not simply giving points like it is standardized because the test was standardized and that makes it reliable. There's much more depth to the answer than that. It's contextualized in the study. That's the main thing you need to focus on. And these are examples of how you contextualize. Coming to the weaknesses now, the named point, which is the ethics, I would like to take that as a weakness and I would take that as the first point. Now, when it comes to ethics, again, I can take a breadth approach or a depth approach. I can talk about multiple ethics which were there in the study, but because all of them are not exactly relevant to the study, the main one which is relevant is psychological harm. So I will just restrict myself to that. They haven't asked me to cover all the ethics which were there, so I will just cover that one, the one which I feel is most suitable. So here I would write one weakness of the study was that the ethical guideline of protection from harm was possibly broken. Okay, we are not sure. We should use tentative language when we write about points like these because no one has really asked the participants whether they were upset or they felt bad about the procedure of the study. So we are not sure that they were psychologically harmed, but we see a possibility there. It might have been the case. How they could have been psychologically harmed is what I need to explain next. The main group of participants, the ASHFA patients, might have felt emotionally distressed while answering the ICE test. They were suffering from a condition which makes it difficult for them to empathize with others and process emotions. While answering the test, they had to look at photographs depicting various emotions, think about those emotions deeply, and then give the correct answer. And then we can say correctly identify the emotion given. So this is the how the procedure, which part of the procedure was strenuous for them. Now, why is this a weakness? What if they had to think all these things? Of course, it must be challenging for them, and it might be, it's like doing something which is already a problem for them, repeatedly doing it 36 times on the test, especially when they were not getting the right answers. We know their scores are low, so most of the items they were not able to understand correctly. That must have made them feel stressed out also, and maybe a little their self-esteem might have been impacted because they are not able to give the right answers. So they might be like, even for us normally, like people who don't have mental disorders, not being able to do well on a test can make us feel really bad. So same might be the case with this group, but more intensely. So how we can explain this is a weakness because participants these participants may have felt very stressed throughout while answering the test, and also probably um, felt bad or ashamed about not being able to answer many items correctly. This reduces the ethical validity of the study. So it reduces the ethical validity, or you can say that this creates an ethical issue with the study. You can conclude in any way. Okay, also, one more weakness which I would like to discuss independently is lack of ecological validity that is very prominent in this study. So, the feature of the study which is a problem is one more weakness of the study was that the nature of the ice test was very unrealistic. Now, I need to point out how it is unrealistic or artificial. In real life, when people try to recognize the emotions of others, they do not observe only their eyes. Rather, they make note of their body language. First, we can say the entire, make note of all their facial features, their body language, their uh, tone of expression, etc. So, what we're trying to say here is people take into account the entire face of the person, the way their body is responding, as well as any sound related cues, voice related cues that they might be giving to understand other people's emotions. However, on the eyes test, emotions are identified only by looking at static pairs of eyes. Because even the eyes are not moving on the eyes test. If today I cry, there will be movement in my eyes, but in the eyes test it's all still because they are just photographs. Now, why is this a weakness? What is a problem with this? This is a problem or a weakness because not being able to perform well on the eyes test would not mean that a person would not be able to identify emotions in real life. Conversely, performing well on the test would not mean that the person would be able to identify emotions well in real life. Just a minute, I'll just be back. Okay, so I can simply link this point to validity, specifically ecological validity. This reduces the ecological validity of the findings of the study. Okay, so this is what I have for this video. I will upload the answer on my website also, and I will link it in the description box below. So if you want to store the answer to refer to it in future, or if you would like to have the answer in front of you when you're watching this video, you will be able to do that. In this lesson, I have just taken a very direct approach, just showing you point by point how to cover the answer. I hope it's been useful to you because mainly I want you to notice how you need to contextualize every point you make in an answer, be very specific to the study, and incorporate details from the study into the answer. Don't keep the answer very vague. Uh, link facts, figures, uh, findings from the study into the answer to make your points very clear. We do not just give descriptives for the sake of it, like you can see in the answer. I'm not to give a descriptive answer, but within points where description is warranted for analysis, there I need to give descriptions which are highly relevant to the study. So I hope you're able to see that in this model answer. And for the last time, I would like to tell you yes, this answer is lengthy. You're not expected to write in so much length in the paper. It is lengthy only because it is for demonstration purposes. If you have any comments about this video, any feedback you want to give, any questions that you have, strictly please put them in the comments box below. I will reply. My personal contact is only if you want classes from me in psychology, then you can use that number or email ID. Also, if you would like me to prepare a video like I have for A2 recently, what I have done is I have explained the criteria required in the mark scheme for scoring well on 10 markers, and then accordingly how you're supposed to phrase an answer so that you can meet all the requirements of the mark scheme, the top band requirements. So if you want me to do something like that, or if you have any other suggestion for a video that you would like to see, you can let me know in the comments box below. So that is it for this brief video. I will see you soon with another video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.